happy St. Patrick's Day and welcome to day 24 of my 7th annual SLAP challenge. SLAP, S-L-A-P, stands for squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups. We are doing at least 40 squats, at least 40 lunges, at least 40 reps of an ab exercise, and at least 40 push-ups a day, every single day except Sundays for 40 days. And this is day 24 already. But that does not mean that it is too late to join the challenge. It is never too late to join the challenge. Of course, you don't have to do the entire challenge. If you just want to do today's workout with me, that's wonderful. There are timestamps in the description box down below the video. So if you would prefer to just skip straight ahead to the workout, you can go ahead and use the chapter markers to do that. But if you would like to hear a little bit about what the challenge is, how it works, how you can participate, where to begin, and if you would like to see today's exercises demonstrated and explained before we begin the workout, let's go ahead and get into that right now. So there is a playlist for this challenge that contains all of the workouts in chronological order. I will link the playlist up here in the iCard. It will also be linked in the description box down below the video, and I will link it at the very end of the video as well, just to make sure that you cannot miss it. So click on the link and save the playlist. Even if at this point you're undecided whether or not you want to participate in the challenge, save the playlist anyway, so that when and if you decide you want to participate in the challenge, you have all of the workouts readily available to you, and all you have to do is follow along with the playlist. So when and if you decide you want to participate, this is a 40-day challenge. That's the way I designed it. It is preferable that you start on day 1 of the challenge, but you don't have to. If you are the one doing it, it's your challenge. You do it in whatever way works for you. So if this is the first you're hearing about the challenge and you want to just jump in today and do the last few weeks of the challenge with me, that is fine by me. I am not going to stop you. I would much rather have you do days 24 through 40 of the challenge with me than no days of the challenge. But if you do want to go back and start the challenge on day 1, just make sure that you start with your day 1 workout on a Wednesday. The challenge is designed to start on a Wednesday. So as long as you start with day 1 on a Wednesday, then all you have to do is just follow along with the playlist and everything will fall into place. I've made it super easy to follow along, and I'm here doing the challenge right along with you. I'm not just here doing these workouts with you every day, but I am here to guide you through the challenge. I am here to provide support in any way I can. I am here to encourage you. I'm here to help with motivation if that's what you need. I'm here to answer any questions that you may have about the challenge. So please feel free to reach out if you have questions or if you need help. But if you just start with your day 1 workout on a Wednesday, then I promise it's super easy to follow along. Now, if you are an absolute beginner, you may think that you cannot do a 40-day fitness challenge. You may think that you cannot do a single squat or a single push-up, but yes, you can. And last year, I went out of my way to prove that to you. So if you're an absolute beginner, what I would like you to do is save last year's playlist. That was my 6th year in a row doing the challenge. And last year I went out of my way to make sure that every single day of this challenge from day 1 through day 40 was accessible to super duper ultra day 1 beginners. So I will link the playlist for year 6 of the challenge up here in the iCard. It will also be linked in the description box down below the video. And I will link it at the very end of the video as well. So please click on that link and save the playlist. You don't have to do any squats yet. You don't have to do a single push-up. You don't have to commit to anything. Just click on the link in the iCard and save the year 6 playlist if you are a beginner. Then what I would like you to do is just start by watching that day 1 video. Just watch the video. The video I shared last year on day 1 of the challenge is going to answer all of your questions about the challenge, why we do the challenge, why I started doing this challenge for myself in 2020. What are we trying to accomplish with this challenge? I'm going to explain how you can participate in your own way. So if you cannot do a 40-day challenge, maybe you can do the first 20 days of the challenge with me, or the last 20 days of the challenge. Maybe you can do every other day of the challenge. If you cannot do 160 reps every day, maybe you can do 80 reps every day, or 40 reps, or 20 reps. If you're the one doing it, it is your challenge. So you do it in whatever way works for you, but it's always better to do something than nothing. So I want you to make the commitment to do what you can. And if you start by watching that day 1 video, I will walk you through lots of different options for how you can participate in the challenge your way. I also took plenty of time to explain and demonstrate how to do your squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups with the correct form, and I provided tons of beginner modifications that I promise you can do. So again, if you are an absolute beginner, please click on the link in the iCard, save the playlist from last year. That was my 6th annual SLAP challenge, and start by watching that day 1 video. Give me an opportunity to convince you that this challenge is for you and you can do it. And then when and if you decide you want to participate in the challenge, it works the same way. The challenge always works the same way, whether you are a beginner, intermediate, or advanced. Regardless of your fitness level, regardless of which playlist you're following along with, the challenge is always designed as a 40-day challenge, and the challenge is always designed to start on a Wednesday. So when and if you decide you want to participate in the challenge, you're just going to start with your day 1 workout on a Wednesday. And again, from there, all you have to do is follow along with the playlist. It's so easy to follow along, but again, if you are a beginner, even if you're following along with last year's playlist, I am still here to guide you through the challenge. So you are not doing this challenge alone. If you have questions about any of the videos from last year, any of last year's workouts, you can comment on those videos and I will be here to answer your questions, okay? I will be here to guide you through the challenge. I will be here to help to motivate you to keep going. I will be here to support you every step of the way, and I will be here to answer any and all questions that you may have. So even if you're a beginner and you're following along with last year's workouts, I am here to help. So if you are not a beginner and you're following along with this year's workouts, we're in our Mama Bear era this year, so I'm going to assume that you are at kind of an intermediate level. And by that, I mean a couple of things. First of all, I'm going to assume that you have access to some basic fitness equipment, although I have been providing equipment-free substitutions every day, and I will continue to do so. I'm also going to assume that you generally understand how to do your squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups with the correct form, so I'm not going to take as much time explaining the exercises, and I'm not going to go into as much detail about how to do the exercises with the correct form, and I'm not going to spend as much time providing beginner modifications. So as always, if you have questions about how to do any of the exercises correctly, or if you need any further help with equipment-free substitutions or beginner modifications beyond what I'm providing in the videos, please just ask. But for the most part, if you're going to be following along with this year's playlist, this is year 7 of the challenge, if you're going to be following along with the daily workouts that I'm sharing this year, I'm going to assume that you are at kind of an intermediate level. If you're more advanced than that and you want workouts that are really going to challenge you, then you can always follow along with the playlist from year 5 of the challenge. Year 5 was our Papa Bear challenge. Those workouts that we were doing in year 5 were much more difficult. They were longer because we were generally doing more than just those 160 reps. We were doing at least 40 squats, at least 40 lunges, at least 40 reps of abs, and at least 40 push-ups with every workout. But we were frequently doing more than just that. We were doing more than just squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups. We were doing other exercises as well. With most of those workouts, I was also incorporating weight, and with most of those workouts also I was incorporating about 20 minutes or so of moderate paced cardio right into the workout. So if you are really strong, you have excellent stamina, you have access to some fitness equipment, and maybe you have a little bit more time to dedicate to your daily workout, and you want workouts that are really going to push you, you want a challenge that's actually going to challenge you, then I'm going to recommend that you save the playlist from year 5, and I will link that playlist up here in the iCard. It will also be linked in the description box down below the video, and I will link it at the very end of the video. So all 3 playlists, years 5, 6, and 7, beginner, intermediate, and advanced, all 3 playlists will be linked in the iCard. All 3 playlists will be linked in the description box down below the video, and all 3 playlists will be linked right on the screen at the very end of the video. So if you're advanced especially, I'm going to recommend that you save all 3 playlists, because that way on any given day of the challenge, you will have 3 options to choose from. You will have a beginner option, an intermediate option, and an advanced option. Now, that being said, you do not have to go in order through the playlist. So first of all, you don't have to stick with one playlist the entire time. You can bounce around between the playlists. So let's say you're really advanced and you're capable of doing the longer, more challenging workouts, but maybe on this day you are really pressed for time. Or you didn't sleep all the night before, or you're feeling a little sore from the previous day's workout, you're tired, you don't have access to any equipment, maybe you're traveling or you don't have the equipment that I'm using, and you need a workout that's maybe a little bit shorter, a little bit less strenuous, a little bit simplified, then you can always check out the workout that we did last year for the challenge. If you're in great shape, you are going to be able to finish almost all of the workouts from year 6 in like 10 minutes. So they're perfect if you're traveling or if you're pressed for time, or you can do the workout that we're doing this year, which is likely going to be essentially the same workout, but just a little bit scaled back, maybe a little bit simplified, maybe fewer reps. So it's good to have those options on any given day, but you don't have to go and order through the playlist regardless. So for example, today's day 24. So if you don't like the workout that I'm doing today, or you don't have the equipment that I'm using, then you can do last year's day 24 workout, or you can check out the workout we did for day 24 in year 5 of the challenge, but you don't have to do the day 24 workout on day 24. So if you don't like today's workout, but there was a workout that we did earlier this year, maybe last week or the week before that you loved, you can redo that workout. Or you can do any of the other workouts on the playlist from year 6. You can do any of the workouts off of the playlist from year 5. So on any given day, you can do any workout off of any of those playlists, and that's fine. You don't even have to stick with the playlists at all. If there's any workout in the whole world that happens to contain at least 40 squats, at least 40 lunges, at least 40 reps of an ab exercise, and at least 40 push-ups, that will work. So if there's some other workout on YouTube that meets those requirements, then you can just do that workout. It doesn't have to be one of my workouts. You can write your own workout. You don't even have to do a workout. I like to incorporate my daily reps into a structured workout. To me, that keeps the challenge interesting, it makes it more dynamic, and it makes for a more interesting video to share with you guys. But if you don't have time to do a workout, or if it's still too difficult for you to do all of your reps at once, you don't have to do a workout at all. You can just spread out your reps throughout the course of your day, so you could get up in the morning and first thing do 10 squats, 10 lunges, 10 reps of any ab exercise you want, and 10 push-ups. It can be any variations of those 4 exercises you want, and then you can just repeat that 3 more times throughout your day, so you could do it again after lunch, again after you get home, once more before you go to bed, and there's your 160 reps. So I know it can be a little bit daunting to commit to a 40-day challenge. I know it's a lot to commit to working out every week, 6 days in a row, every Monday through Saturday. And I do want this challenge to be accessible, regardless of your fitness level, regardless of your access to equipment, regardless of any time constraints you may have. And I do want to accommodate for those days where you are pressed for time or you're not feeling well. So I really went out of my way to make sure that the challenge is super flexible. So as long as you're getting those 160 reps done, it doesn't matter which variations of squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups you do. It doesn't matter when you get your reps done, as long as you're getting them done. So if you spread out your reps throughout the day, then you're really only committing to like 2 or 3 minutes 4 times throughout your day. And I think we can all manage that. So it starts with making the commitment. Honestly, making the commitment is the hardest part. And I did address that in the day 1 video from last year as well. There are so many things that we're looking to accomplish with this challenge and so many different aspects to this challenge. But honestly, the hardest part is just saying, I am going to do this challenge. I'm committed, I'm doing the challenge. I'm going to do all 40 days of this challenge. Not maybe I'll do the challenge, not I'll try to do the challenge. Maybe next Wednesday, I'll see how I feel, and tomorrow I'll try to get my reps done tomorrow. It's a busy day, but I'll try to get my reps done. As soon as you use a word like maybe or try, you're giving yourself an out. You're not committing. The hardest part is making the commitment. The hardest part is saying, instead of, I'll try to get my reps done tomorrow, even though it's a busy day, I'll try. Instead of saying that, it's a paradigm shift. The hardest part is saying, I have a super busy day tomorrow, but I'm committed to this challenge, so let me figure out where I'm gonna squeeze in my reps. Maybe every time I get up to go to the kitchen, I'll do 5 squats. Maybe every time right before I wash my hands, I'll do 5 push-ups. You know, however you get the reps done is fine, but it's really, there's an amazing thing that happens after you stop saying, I'll try. It's just giving yourself an out. So let's say, okay, I have a really busy day tomorrow. I'm not gonna be able to do a workout, but I'll try to find the time to get my reps done. Well, then tomorrow comes, it's super busy, I'm tired, and I don't do my reps. And I can say, well, I tried. Did I though? But if I don't say I'll try, if I say I'm doing my reps, a really amazing thing happens. So as soon as you stop saying I'll try and you say I'll do it, I'm going to do it, I'm committing to do it, your brain, it's like there's a switch in your brain that goes off and you switch from excuse mode to problem solving mode. So instead of looking for excuses why you can't get your reps done because you're too tired, you don't have time or whatever, you immediately will start looking for solutions, how you can get your reps done in spite of being tired, in spite of having a packed day. So no one is required to do this challenge with me, but if it's something you're thinking about, if it's something that you want to try, just keep in mind that it starts with the commitment. It starts with saying, I am doing this challenge. I promise you that is the hardest part. Not that these reps aren't difficult, because they are, but once you cross that first hurdle, I'm telling you, the rest is just going to fall into place. Yes, you're going to have to struggle on certain days to find the motivation, but because you made that commitment, you will find the motivation. And I'm here to help you with motivation if necessary. And yes, some days you're going to struggle to get the reps done. You might be tired, you might be sore, but once you commit to doing the reps, you'll know that I just don't have the strength to do standard push-ups today, but I can do the push-ups for my knees, or I can do wall push-ups. I'm gonna get my reps done, okay? So start by saving the playlist or playlists, depending on your fitness level. It's a good idea to save all 3 playlists so that, again, you have options each day, but save at least one of the playlists. And then start by watching the day 1 video so that you understand what the challenge is. Make a plan for how you're going to participate in your way, and then commit to doing what you can. Commit to participating in whatever way you're going to participate, and then follow through, okay? And remember that I'm here to help. I'm here to guide you through the challenge. I'm here to answer questions. So hopefully that is all clear, but that's enough about the challenge for today. Let's go ahead and get into the exercises that we're doing today. So starting with the equipment I'm using, you can see that I have my short plyo box here and a set of dumbbells. I will be providing equipment-free substitutions. You do not need any exercise equipment whatsoever to follow along with this workout, but I will be using a short plyo box just to increase the difficulty a little bit. And I'm also going to be holding onto a set of dumbbells. So for reference only, these are 10-pound dumbbells. That is a good weight for me. That's going to challenge me today. You may need to use something lighter than that. You may need to use something heavier than that. That all depends on your strength and on your level of fitness. It depends on what you have available to you, and it depends on how hard you are looking to push yourself today. So please consider all of those factors when choosing your weights and make the decision that is best for you. You do not need to add weight, but if you do want to add weight and you don't have dumbbells, look for household items that will work. It's just as easy to grab a couple of shampoo bottles or water bottles and fill them with some sort of weight. So you could fill them with water, that's fine. You might be able to make them a little bit heavier if you fill them with something like uncooked rice or dried beans or lentils, kitty litter, powdered laundry detergent, something like that. Maybe you're taking your workout to the beach or the park or the hiking trail today, and you could fill your water bottles or your shampoo bottles with sand or dirt. You could even fill them with those like little decorative pebbles. That would probably work out great, make it a little bit heavier. So just get creative and use what's available to you. As long as you can find something that you are able to maintain a secure grip on so that you're not going to drop it and injure yourself or break something and make a mess, and as long as it is not too heavy for you, then any number of household items can work for weight. So just get creative, use what you've got. And again, if you're taking your workout to the beach or the park or the hiking trail or something, you could probably even find a couple of rocks that would work. But if you don't have anything that's going to work for weight, or you just don't want to add weight to the workout, that's fine. You don't have to add weight to the workout. The added weight is optional. I will be providing equipment-free substitutions. So let's go ahead and get into the exercises. We're actually starting with abs today, but I'm going to skip them for right now because I have this stuff here right now. So it's going to be easier for me to show you first the little combo that we're doing for our squats, lunges, and push-ups. So I am going to be using this short plyo box. There are 3 heights. This is the shortest one. There's a short, a medium, and a tall. I'm going to be using my short plyo box. So last year when I did this workout, we did not use any kind of elevated surface, but in year 5 of the challenge, I actually used an aerobic step for this workout, which is even shorter than this. But if you have an aerobic step, that's a great option, but you could probably also use something like maybe like some cinder blocks or something like that. Anything that is strong enough to support your entire body weight, sturdy enough so that it's not going to collapse or break or fold up when you put weight on it, and stable so that it cannot slide from underneath you will work. So you could possibly use something like a chair or a stool, but just make sure that whatever you're using for your elevated surface is strong enough, sturdy enough, and stable enough to be used safely. So first of all, it needs to be strong enough to support your entire body weight because we're going to be stepping up on it, standing on it. So I don't want you to use anything that is not strong enough to support your entire body weight. It needs to be sturdy. So if you're going to use something like a chair or a bench or something like that, a weight bench would be a great option. You could probably make a piano bench work, but just make sure that whatever you're using, whatever you're stepping up onto is sturdy, meaning that it's well made and it's in good condition. Nothing that is going to collapse or break when you step on it or fold up on you. So definitely not like one of those collapsible stools or a folding chair, okay? And make sure that it is stable, meaning that it cannot slide from underneath you. So if you're going to use something like a chair or a stool that is strong enough to support your body weight and sturdy enough so that it will not collapse or break or fold up when you put weight on it, make sure also that it is stable. So place it on top of an exercise mat or a yoga mat maybe so that it stays put. You don't want your elevated surface to slide from underneath you when you step up onto it. You're gonna get hurt. I don't want anyone getting hurt. So please be smart, be safe, use your common sense. If you do not have an elevated surface that is strong enough, sturdy enough, and stable enough to be used safely, then you are going to eliminate it. And I will show you that modification in just a minute. But I am going to be using my plyo box for this, my short plyo box. And I'm going to be starting with lunges. And what I'm going to do is lunge. It's basically a walking lunge, but I'm going to be lunging up and over my plyo box. So it's really a step up. So I'm going to start standing towards one side of my plyo box. I'm going to pick up one foot, step forward, and lunge. So I'm lunging with my foot elevated on the plyo box. And it's a walking lunge. So now I'm going to pick up my back foot and walk forward into my next lunge. So this back foot is going to come up and I'm going to step up and over the plyo box. This foot lands and I'm going to come down into another lunge. Then I'll step this back foot forward, return to my, well, not to my starting position, I guess, but just so that I end up on the other side of the box. Now I'm going to do a little twist jump. You can just turn around, that's fine. But I figure, hey, why not twist jump? And then we're just going to go back in the other direction. So I'm going to be initiating my next rep with the opposite leg. So I'm always going to make sure that I'm initiating the first lunge with the leg that's closest to you so that I end up working both sides evenly. So now with my next rep, this leg is closest to you, so I'll pick up this foot, step forward and lunge onto the plyo box. Now I'm going to step up and over the plyo box, come down into another lunge. Step the foot forward, twist jump. So that's 2 lunges to get to this side of the box, 2 lunges to get back. Okay, so one more tiny detail. Each time I do my twist jump, I'm always doing my jump so that you are looking at the front of me. So if I'm facing this way, I'm never twisting so that you're looking at my booty. I'm always twisting so that I'm facing you as I do that twist jump. So that way, when you add up all my twist jumps, I'm not just going like clockwise the whole time. I'll be doing half of my twists in a clockwise direction, half of my twists in a counterclockwise direction. So that again, I just end up working both sides evenly. So leg that's closest to you initiates the movement. I think I did it wrong the last time, but Just so you know, on the day, I'm always going to make sure that I'm initiating the movement with the leg that's closest to you. So step forward and lunge, step up and over, lunge. Step the foot forward, twist jump, other direction, initiating the lunge with the opposite foot. Step forward and lunge, up and over, lunge, step the foot forward, and twist jump. All right, so that is my lunge variation. If you are not using an elevated surface, just do walking lunges, okay? Same thing, initiating the movement with the leg that's closest to you. Step forward and lunge, lunge, twist jump, other direction, other leg. Step forward and lunge, walk, lunge, bring the foot forward, twist jump. Okay, so that is your equipment-free substitution. You can do these with or without weight. I'm just going to be holding a set of dumbbells to my side like this. So lunge, lunge, step the foot forward, twist jump, lunge, lunge, step the foot forward, twist jump. Okay, so that is my lunge variation. I'm going to be doing something very similar for my squat variation. So I'm going to start standing towards one side of my plyo box, facing forward. I'm going to pick up one foot and step it up onto the plyo box, come down into my squat from here. And then I'm going to pick up this foot, stand on top of my plyo box, and then we're going to keep walking in this direction. So I'll pick up this foot, step it down, come down into my squat, pick up the other foot, and stand on the other side of my box. Now we're gonna walk back. So always picking up the foot that's closest to the plyo box, step up on the box, lunge, step down, or squat, and step down and squat. Okay, so I'm going to be holding on to weights. You don't have to, you can do it just like that. And if you need a completely equipment-free option, if you do not have an elevated surface, you're just going to step to the side and squat, bring the feet together, step to the side and squat, bring the feet together, then go back. So 2 walking squats in one direction, 2 walking squats in the opposite direction. Making sure that you're keeping your back flat, keeping the weight in your heels for your squats. So shoulders are back and down, chest is lifted high, make sure your abs are tight. I like to think about hinging at the hips before I squat. So push the booty back, like you're trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty. Think about trying to touch the wall in front of you with your chest at the same time. Your spine is elongated, back is flat, weight is in your heels as you come down into your squat, and then press your heels into the ground to stand. And last but not least is push-ups. So for this push-up variation, I'm going to be holding onto my dumbbells while I do my push-ups. So these are hex dumbbells, which means that they are flat on the bottom. So that provides me sufficient stability that I can hold onto the dumbbells while I'm in a plank position and they're not going to roll around on me. If your dumbbells are rounded on the ends, then I would prefer that you do not use dumbbells for this exercise. Or if you're using rocks or household items like shampoo bottles or water bottles, I would prefer that when you get to your push-ups, you drop the weight and just do this exercise without the weight. I don't want anyone getting hurt. And if your dumbbells are rounded on the ends, they're liable to roll around on you while you are holding onto them in a plank position. Again, you will fall and get hurt. I don't want anyone getting hurt. So I'm going to be doing my push-ups with my feet elevated on the plyo box. And I'm going to be, again, it's a similar concept. We're doing walking push-ups, but I'm not going to be walking my feet. I'm just going to be walking my hands. So I'm going to start with my feet up on the plyo box. And my hands kind of towards one corner of the box. I'm going to start with a push-up, and then I'm going to walk my hands together and out. Push-up, walk, walk, push-up, walk, walk. Okay? So 4 push-ups to get from this corner of the box to this corner of the box with my hands, and then 4 push-ups to get back. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to be holding onto my dumbbells while I do that to increase the difficulty. So this is optional if your dumbbells are flat on the bottom. If your dumbbells are not flat on the bottom, or if you're using household items, then do it the way I just showed you. But I'm going to do a push-up on my dumbbells, and then walk, walk, push up, walk, walk. Okay, 4 push-ups to get here, 4 push-ups to get back. And that's it. That's all 4 exercises, or all 3 exercises in our little combo. So the way this works, this second part of the workout, we're going to do 8 reps of each exercise times 5 rounds. So 8 reps of each exercise is our little circuit. So I'm going to do 4 lunges, 1, 2, twist jump, 3, 4, twist jump. Then we'll repeat that 5, 6, 7, 8. Then 8 squats. So 4, 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll do 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so 8 squats, just 8 squats, and then 8 push-ups. So 4 to get from here to here, 4 to get from here to here. That's 1 round of the circuit. We're just going to do that 5 times, and that's how we are getting our 40 squats, lunges, and push-ups done. Before we get to that, we will be doing our abs separately as a buy-in. Before we move on to abs, let me just remind you to mind your form on the push-up. Make sure your body stays in one straight line from your heels all the way to your shoulders, okay? And if you can't do that push-up variation for whatever reason, remember that any push-up variation you want to do is fine. So if you are not using a plyo box or an elevated surface, you can do walking push-ups. You can start with your hands and feet together, and then just walk the hand out to the side, walk the foot out to the side as you do your push-up and walk them in. Okay, so you can do walking push-ups like that. If you're doing the push-ups from your knees, you can just walk with your hands the way I was doing. So if you're on your knees, you can do this, push up, walk just the hands. So this is actually more similar to what I was doing, and you can do that on dumbbells as well if you want, as long as they're flat on the bottom, okay? So now, moving on to abs. I'm not adding weight to my ab exercise. You can if you want. I am increasing the difficulty though by kind of doubling the reps. So what I mean by that is that each rep is going to consist of a side crunch plus a V-up, okay? So that's 1 rep. So each 1 rep is kind of 2 reps. So after we've completed 40 reps, we really will have completed 80 reps. Make sense? All right, it makes sense. So here's what I'm doing. My side crunch, I'm starting down here on my side on the mat. My legs are bent, and my bottom forearms on the mat for support. My top hand is behind my head, and now I'm going to lift my knees, and at the same time I'm going to lift my torso, bringing my top elbow to meet my top knee, then reverse the movement. Then I'm going to straighten my legs, extend the arms up overhead, and I'm going to do a V-up. So I'm lifting the legs straight up, lifting my torso up at the same time, and bringing my hands, or my fingers on this top hand to tap my toes on the top foot. All right, then bend the knees, bend the elbow, side crunch, straighten the legs, straighten the arm, V up, okay? So, side crunch, V up, that's 1. Side crunch, V up, that's 2. Okay, so I'm going to do 20 of those on one side, then I'll switch sides and do 20 on the other side, and that's my buy-in. So we're doing an ab buy-in, and then we're going to move on to our little circuit of squats, lunges, and push-ups. We'll do 8 reps of each of those 3 exercises. That's the circuit, and we'll complete 5 rounds of that circuit, and that's our 160 reps for today. Now, if it's too difficult to do all of your abs at once, in the past, I have done this workout differently, where I've done 20 reps on one side, then moved on to my squats, lunges, and push-ups, and then after those were complete, I came back down onto my mat and finished up with my abs. I did 20 reps on the other side. So you could do that if that works better for you. You could do 10 reps on one side, then 10 reps on the other side, and then do your squats, lunges, and push-ups, and then come back and do 10 reps on one side, 10 reps on the other side. Whatever works for you is fine. Just remember, any variations of these exercises you want to do is fine. And any way you want to structure your workout is fine, as long as you're getting your reps done. So please feel free to make whatever changes and modifications you need to make in order to make it work for you. Also, keep in mind that because each rep of abs is really 2 reps, you can cut those in half. So you can do 10 reps on each side instead of 20 reps on each side, and that you'll still meet your ab requirement for the day. So that's up to you. If you want to just do your 40 reps of abs and not anything extra, the other thing you could do is, instead of doing side crunch plus a V-up, you could do just side crunches, or you could do just V-ups and do just 40 reps of those, okay? So do it in whatever way is going to work for you, but that's what I'm doing. So that's all of the exercises. That's the format. You have your equipment-free substitutions. So before we get started, I just want to remind you that I do always take the time to type out the instructions in the description box down below the video. So if anything is unclear about the format and how it all fits together, how you can make modifications and customize the format to accommodate your fitness level or any time constraints you may have, if you have any questions about the exercises that we are doing today, if you have any doubts about how to do the exercises with the correct form, or if you need any further help with equipment-free substitutions beyond what I have already provided, if you need to see beginner modifications, I'm always here to help. So please ask questions if you have them, and please make sure, especially if you are going to be working out along with the video, that you are going at your own pace and minding your form. Please do not sacrifice your form for speed. So if you're in great shape, you're going to be faster than I am, and that's wonderful. Be faster than I am, as long as you are not losing anything off of your form to get there. If you are racing to stay ahead of me, either because you are competing with me, you want to beat my score, or because you have just set a really ambitious time goal for yourself that you're chasing and your form starts to get sloppy, that means you need to slow down. It is always going to be safer and more effective to slow down and do your reps with the proper form than it is to race through and allow your form to get sloppy. So please do not race to stay ahead of me. Please do not race to keep up with me. If you are slower than I am, that is also wonderful, and I mean that, because you would not even know that you are slower than I am unless you got your little booty dressed and you got out here with me today and you were doing the reps. As long as you are putting in the work and you're getting your 160 reps done and you're following through with your commitment, that is what matters. So please do not race to keep up with me. If you are slower than I am, be slower than I am. If you fall behind, either because you're just working at a slower pace than I am, or because you're finding that you're needing to take longer rest breaks than what I'm taking, or you're needing rest breaks where I'm not taking them, that's fine. Pause the video. I'm not going anywhere. When you're ready, come back and we will finish the workout together. But if you're racing to keep up with me and your form starts to get sloppy, you need to slow down. You can always pause the video and come back when you're ready. Now, if you do need to pause the video and rest, that's fine. But I do want you to challenge yourself to keep your rest breaks as short as you can. But they should be as long as you need, okay? So you only should resume the workout once you feel that you have regained enough strength and you have enough stamina so that you can continue with good form, okay? It's really important that you are going at your own pace, and it's really important that you're minding your form. So please never sacrifice your form for speed. And please make sure that you're working to your own level. So that means choosing dumbbells or household items that are an appropriate weight for you, nothing too heavy. It means that if it gets too taxing holding on to the weight, drop it and do the body weight version of the exercises that I showed you. It means choosing an elevated surface that is an appropriate height for you, and if it gets too difficult doing the exercises on an elevated surface, ditch it and do the equipment-free modifications that I showed you. Okay, it might mean shortening up your range of motion on your lunges or your push-ups, or putting your knees down for the push-ups. It means taking rest breaks as needed. Please just be smart, be safe, listen to your body. Again, use your common sense and make the decision that is best for you, and just do your best. Please remember that your best is always good enough. So let your best be good enough. Hopefully I have covered everything. If you're ready to go ahead and begin the workout, make sure that you have something soft beneath you for our ab exercise. So some kind of exercise mat or yoga mat is ideal. If you don't have a mat, a towel should probably suffice. If you're working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, you may not need anything. And then for part 2 of the workout, I am using my short plyo box. So if you want to do the exercises the way I'm doing them, grab a short plyo box if you have access to one. If not, a couple of cinder blocks could work, or maybe a weight bench, something that is strong enough to support your entire body weight, sturdy enough so that it will not collapse or break or fold up when you put weight on it, stable enough so that it cannot slide from underneath you, and something that is not too tall for you. But if you do not have access to anything like that, that's fine, don't worry about it. You have your equipment-free substitutions. And grab a set of dumbbells if you have them, and if you want to add weight to the workout. If you don't have dumbbells, again, look for household items that will work. Maybe a couple of water bottles or shampoo bottles filled with some sort of weight. But if you have nothing that's going to work for weight, or you just don't want to add weight to the workout, again, that's fine. You don't have to. The added weight is optional. You have your body weight variations of those exercises where I am holding onto my dumbbells. So definitely an exercise mat or yoga mat if you have one, and optionally a short plyo box and a pair of dumbbells. Pause the video, go get dressed, meet me right back here. We are going to start with a quick little 5-minute warm up, and then we'll get right into our day 24 reps. So as soon as you're ready, let's get started with our 5-minute warm up. You are going to begin by just allowing your head to fall towards one shoulder. Now place your hand on top of your head and just rest it there. Make sure that your arm is completely relaxed. It's important to make sure that you're not pulling your ear down towards your shoulder. You're just allowing gravity to do all the work of gently stretching the other side of your neck. So just relax into it. Your arm should be completely relaxed. Now let's switch to the other side. So allow your head to fall towards the opposite shoulder. Relax the arm, relax the shoulders. They should be down away from your ears. Just allowing gravity to do all the work here by just using the weight of your arm to gently stretch the other side of your neck. Now we're going to do some head rolls. So allow your chin to fall first towards your chest, then towards the opposite shoulder and back. And each time you roll your head from one shoulder to the other, just start feeling your head getting heavier and heavier. Allow your range of motion to increase so that eventually your entire torso is just kind of spilling in front of you. Your arms should be loose like a rag doll. Now we're going to do some shoulder rolls. So just roll your shoulders either towards the back or towards the front. It doesn't matter. Just make sure you're exploring your full range of motion. So make the circles as big as you can. Next, we're going to do arm circles. So you're going to extend your arms out to the sides and start by making small circles, either towards the back or towards the front. It doesn't matter. But gradually, as the interval progresses, you're going to start making the circles bigger and bigger until finally you are exploring your full range of motion, making the circles as big as you possibly can. Now, make sure that your feet are a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. So wider than shoulder width apart. Bend the knees and sweep your arms in front of you as you straighten your legs. You're reaching up, stretching as high as you can. And each time you bend your knees, you are allowing your range of motion to increase as it feels comfortable, sinking deeper and deeper into that squat. Keep your feet planted right where they are. Again, they should be wider than shoulder width apart. We're just going to lunge side to side, nice and easy. And now add the arms. So now with each lunge, I'm just reaching my arm across my body. It's like you're trying to throw your arm across the room. Now step your feet in. We're going to march in place, starting with the knees low. But gradually as the interval progresses, you're going to start driving your knees up higher and higher towards your chest until finally you're driving your knees up as high as you possibly can. Really work, get them up there, feel a nice little stretch in your glutes. Now we're going to jog in place. So again, starting with the knees low, but as the interval progresses, you're going to gradually start driving your knees up higher and higher towards your chest until you're driving your knees up as high as you can towards your chest. Next is booty kicks. So keep jogging, but now with each step, you're just bringing your foot behind you. Really try to kick yourself in the booty with your heel. For this next one, if you struggle with balance, you can hold on to something for support. the wall or a chair. If not, hands on the hips is fine. Transfer your weight into one foot, pick up the other foot, and just swing the leg front and back. Nice and loose here. Just waking up those hip flexors. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So you'll put this foot down, transfer your weight, pick up the opposite foot, and swing the leg front and back. You can start low, and as the interval progresses, if it feels comfortable to do so, you can start expanding your range of motion, swinging that leg higher and higher. Now put this foot down, transfer your weight again, pick up the opposite foot, extend the leg out in front of you, and just bring the leg around and behind. And each time you make this semicircle with your leg, you're lifting the leg higher and higher. And now we're going to finish with 2 hip circles. So drive the knee up towards your chest and use your hands to guide it around. Other leg, extend the opposite foot out in front. Bring the leg around and behind. Lifting the leg higher and higher each time you make that semicircle. And now 2 hip circles. Drive the knee up towards your chest. Use your hands to guide it around. Finishing with a hamstring stretch. Feet wide apart, hinge at the hips, and forward fold, keeping your back as flat as you can so that you isolate your hamstrings more effectively. So if you want to use your plyo box or a chair or the wall or the arm of your couch to assist you, it might make getting into this stretch a little bit more comfortable. It might make it easier to keep your back flat, and it might make the stretch more accessible for you. You're not going to hurt yourself if you round your back in this stretch, but we're here for such a short period of time. Keeping your back flat really maximizes the effectiveness of the stretch because it isolates your hamstrings more effectively. And I always like to spend a few extra seconds in that stretch, but that's it. That is our little 5+ minute warm up. So let's get right into the workout. We're starting with our ab buy-in. So as soon as you're ready, here we go. I'm starting my timer in 3, 2, 1, and go. So coming down onto the mat on your side with your knees bent, bottom arm on the mat for support. Top hand is behind the head. Now we're going to do a side crunch. Now straighten the arms, straighten the legs, V up. That is 1 rep. Side crunch, V up. That's 2. We're going to 20. Do your best. That's 20. I know those are tough. We're basically doubling our reps of abs because each rep is really 2 reps. So I know it's tough. So if you need a break from abs, you can move on now and then finish up with your final 20 reps of abs after the squats, lunges, and push-ups combo. That is up to you. I'm going to flip over and do the same thing on the other side. So again, knees are bent, bottom arm is on the mat for support, top hand is behind the head, and now lift the knees and lift the torso at the same time, bringing knee to elbow, then straighten the arms, straighten the legs, V up. 10. I know it's hard. That's 15. Just 5 more and then we're done with that. That's 16. 17. Oh, it hurts. 3 more. 18. 2 more. 19. Last one. Oh, that's 20. All right, get up. I know the temptation is just to collapse on the mat, but we've got to move on to our squats, lunges, and push-ups. So I'm just going to grab my plyo box. If you do not have a plyo box or some other strong, sturdy, stable, elevated surface that you can use, then you do not need to use one. You can do walking lunges, walking squats, and walking push-ups without elevating your hands or your feet. Regardless of whether or not you are using a plyo box, the combo is 8 walking lunges, 8 walking squats, and 8 walking push-ups. And then we're going to repeat that circuit a total of 5 times. You can add weight if you want to increase the difficulty. I am holding onto a set of dumbbells, so just remember that as you are doing your lunges, you're always going to be initiating the lunge with a different leg. So as I'm moving in this direction, I'm always going to be initiating the lunge with this leg. And as I do my twist jump and come back, I'll be initiating the movement with the opposite leg. So I'm always initiating the movement with the leg that is closest to you. If you need a longer rest break so that you can towel off and get a sip of water before we start this main part of the workout, go ahead and pause the video. And when you feel that you have regained enough strength and you have enough stamina, your heart rate is where you want it, your breathing is normalized, let's go ahead and get started on this part 2. This is gonna be really tough, so just do your best. So, step forward and lunge onto the plyo box. Now the back foot comes up and over and come down into another lunge. Step the back foot forward, twist jump. Now we're traveling back in the opposite direction. So initiating the movement with the leg that's closest to you, step forward and lunge onto the plyo box, step up and over, come down into another lunge, step the back foot forward, twist jump. We've done a total of 4 lunges. We're doing 8 lunges, so we're going to repeat that. Step forward and lunge onto the plyo box, back foot comes up and over, lunge, step the foot forward, twist jump, other side, lunge, lunge, step the foot forward, twist jump. So that's all 4 lunges. 2 to get to this side, 2 to get to this side, and we did that twice, okay? So now we're going to do the same thing with squats. So, starting towards one side of my plyo box, I'm going to step one foot up onto the box and squat. Step the other foot up onto the box and we're walking. So now this foot comes down, squat, and step the feet together. So that's 2 squats. Now we're going to go back in the opposite direction. Step one foot up onto the plyo box and squat. Other foot on the plyo box and squat. Actually, I think I'm going to do goblet squats because it's kind of awkward to have my weights to my side. Do whatever you want with your weights, or don't hold weights. It's up to you. But that's 4 squats, so we're going to do 4 more. So, step onto the box and squat. Step the other foot up. Now step this foot down and squat. Step the feet together. Traveling back in the opposite direction. Step the foot up and squat. Both feet on the box. One foot down and squat. Feet together. All right, so that's 8 squats. So now we just have to do 8 push-ups. I'm going to be elevating my feet on the plyo box for my push-ups and walking my hands towards from one corner of the box to the other and then back. So 4 push-ups to get from this side to this side, 4 push-ups to get back. So that's my 8 push-ups. So with our lunges and squats, we were traveling up and over the box twice. This time we're just traveling to one side and back once, okay? So if your weights are not flat on the bottom, please eliminate them. Just do this with your hands flat on the floor of the ground. So hold it onto the dumbbells for a push-up. Now walk the hands over, push up, walk, push up, walk, push up. That's 4. Now repeat this push up where you have to do 4 more to get back. So push up, walk, walk, push up, walk, walk, push up. That's 7 and 8. All right, so that's once through the circuit. So each time through the circuit, we're completing a total of 8 lunges, 8 squats, and 8 push-ups. So we have to do that 4 more times. You've seen everything once now. I've talked us through it. You see how it flows. So I'm gonna zip it so I can conserve some energy. I want to pick up my pace so we can get through these next 4 sets without this taking all day. All right, so when you're ready, here we go. Let's start on round 2. 4 more lunges. So now repeat that. Another 4 lunges. That's 5 and 6. That's 7 and 8. Four walking squats. That's 2. That's 4. 4 more. 5, 6, 7, and 8. For push-ups. And now 4 more to get back. This is a tough combo, I know, especially with the added weight. And especially if it's hot where you are. It's hot here. All right. I'm really gonna zip it this time. 3 more rounds. Was that 4 or 8? I think I have to do that again, right? Mind is wandering. Don't let your mind wander. Focus on what you're doing. All right, that's at least 8. Right? Yeah. All right, that's at least 8. Might have done an extra 4 lunges there. Let that be a lesson to you. All right, 8 squats. That was definitely 8. Make sure to keep track that time. Push-ups. All right, that's round 3. I know this is a tough circuit, especially with the added weight, and especially using the plyo box. So drop to a lighter weight if necessary. Drop the weight altogether if necessary. Eliminate the plyo box. Do whatever you need to do. We have 2 more rounds to go. Squats. Push-ups. Just one more round left to go. The bad news, it's a super tough little circuit. All right, when you're ready, here we go. Final 8 lunges. That's 2. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So our LA is done. Our lunges are done. Abs are done. I have 8 squats left to go. That's 4. Squat and step, that's 5. Squat and step, that's 6. 7. And that's 8. Just 8 more push-ups. And that's round 5. After the buy-in to just collapse in a heap on the mat. And I know it's tempting after 5 rounds of that tough little circuit. So just kind of collapse. But we gotta get up and move. We are not quite finished yet. No workout of mine is ever complete, and especially no workout of this challenge is ever complete until we have done our bonus burpee. So we have just 1 rep left to go. The bonus burpee is mandatory. It is part of the workout, and the bonus burpees are part of this challenge. It is that exclamation point at the end of the workout. It's the thing that completes the workout. It's a little celebration that we got our 160 reps done, and today we did 180 reps. And I think I did an extra 4 lunges, so I might have done a little more than that, maybe 184 reps. But it's also just that, like, kind of a pat on the back for sticking with the challenge for another day. And it's that final slap across Brutus's face that's going to shut him up for the rest of the day. And if you don't know who Brutus is, watch the day 1 video from last year. We talked all about Brutus. He is a huge part of this challenge. So let's go ahead and do our bonus burpee together, and then the workout will be officially complete. So as soon as you're ready, here we go. This is our final rep of the day. All right, with that, the workout is now officially complete. That ended up taking me a total of 21 minutes and 15 seconds. I did not set a time goal before I began this workout, but I was pushing myself hard today. That being said, I did spend some time talking us through that first round of the circuit. So next time I do this exact same workout the exact same way, I'm going to set my goal to finish in under 20 minutes, because based on my time today, I will know that that goal is attainable, but it's something I'll still have to work to achieve. So I always time my workouts, and that way the next time I do the same workout, I have a very realistic goal. And I also find it very encouraging each time I revisit the same workout to see my times getting faster. So I find it really encouraging. I know it doesn't work for everyone, but I encourage you to try it. It may or may not be for you, but just try it, time yourself, and then the next time you do this workout, try to see if you can beat your old score, not at the expense of your form, of course. And if you timed yourself today and you feel comfortable doing so, please feel free to leave me a comment with your score. Let me know how long it took you. But now the workout is officially complete, so let's just do a quick cool down together. You just want to keep moving while you allow your heart rate to come down a little bit and while you allow your breathing to normalize. So you can pace back and forth, maybe shake out the legs a little bit. Let's do a quick shoulder stretch, bringing one arm across your body. Use your other arm to pull it in close to your chest. Make sure that your straight arm is completely relaxed, and make sure your shoulder is relaxed. If your shoulder is tense and hunched up here by your ear, you're not going to be able to stretch it effectively. And this is a really nice stretch after all those push-ups. So relax the arm, relax the shoulder, and keep moving while we're doing these stretches. So I'm just kind of shifting my weight from foot to foot, shaking out the legs. You can pace, especially if you're still breathing heavily, your heart rate is still especially elevated. It might be helpful to pace back and forth a little bit. Let's get the other arm, so bringing the opposite arm across your body, using your other arm to pull it in close to your chest. Relax the arm, relax the shoulder, feel that nice stretch in your shoulder. Keep moving and keep focusing on slowing down your breathing. So you do that by breathing all the way down to your belly button. So each time you inhale, I want you to really focus on feeling your diaphragm being pulled down. Allow your rib cage to expand and visualize filling up your entire torso with air as you inhale. And then use your diaphragm to control the air as you exhale. Coming out of it, shake out the arms. Let's do a tricep stretch next. So bend one elbow. Place your hand on the elbow and gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder. Feel that nice stretch in your triceps. I love this stretch. It feels so good after those push-ups. Make sure that the fingers on your free hand are pointing straight down at the ground as you gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder. You want to avoid having this free hand hanging out up here somewhere by your shoulder. So point the fingers straight down. Pull gently on that shoulder so you feel that nice stretch in your tricep. Keep moving and keep focusing on slowing down your breathing. So let's take one more breath, breathing all the way down to your belly button as you inhale. Control the exhale, come out. Let's get the other side, so bending your other elbow, place your hand on the elbow and gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder, making sure that the fingers on your free hand are pointing straight down at the ground. Feel that nice stretch in your triceps. So I'm still just kind of shaking out my legs. Again, you can be pacing, you can just shift your weight from foot to foot, whatever feels good to you, but keep moving and keep focusing on your breathing. So let's take one more nice deep breath here. Feel your diaphragm being pulled down as you inhale. Breathe all the way down to your belly button. Rib cage expands, fill up your entire torso with air. And control the air as you exhale. Come out, shake out the arms. We're going to finish with a quad stretch. So if you struggle with balance, you can hold onto the wall or some other strong, sturdy, stable, elevated surface for support, like your kitchen counter, dining room table, the arm of your couch. You're going to bend one knee and bring the foot behind you. Reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with the hand that's on the same side if you're holding onto something for support. If you are not holding onto anything for support, you can reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with both hands. Now press your heel into your booty cheek, really press it in there. Feel that nice stretch in your quads. And now keep pressing your heel into your booty cheek, and as you're doing that, tilt your pelvis forward. So think about kind of tucking your booty underneath you. Try to touch your spine with your belly button. As soon as you combine both of those two elements, you're going to feel that stretch intensify your quad muscles as you isolate them more effectively. But I also want you to feel that stretch extend all the way up to your hip flexors. So let's take one more deep breath here. Keep pressing that heel to your booty cheek. Keep tilting the pelvis forward and come out. Let's get the other side. So bending your opposite knee, Bring the foot behind you, reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with the hand that's on the same side if you're holding on to something for support. If you're not holding on to anything for support, you can reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with both hands. Press your heel into your booty cheek, and as you're doing that, you're going to tilt your pelvis forward. Tuck the booty underneath you, sucking your belly button all the way back towards your spine. So as you're tilting your pelvis forward, make sure you're continuing to apply pressure. Press your heel into your booty cheek. And as you are continuing to press your heel into your booty cheek, make sure that you are continuously pressing your pelvis forward. Feel that stretch intensify in your quads. Feel that stretch in your hip flexors. Let's take one more nice deep breath here. Inhaling, breathing all the way down to your belly button. Fill up your entire torso with air. Use your diaphragm to control the air as you exhale and come out. One last time, shake out the legs, shake out the wrists, shake out the arms, swing the arms a little bit, and that's it. That is our cool down. So now I'm going to move right on to cardio. I have the lovely Victoria here with me again today. Victoria is my beautiful silver jump rope with these pretty light pink metallic handles. If you would like to know where I get my jump ropes, there is a link and a coupon code in the description box down below the video. So click on the link and use coupon code RUDEBECCA to save an additional 10% on your jump rope. I am going to set my interval timer for 10-second rest intervals and 20-second work intervals times 40 rounds. That's 20 minutes. I'm going to get some music going, and I'm going to do 20 minutes of interval jump rope, and then I will immediately move on to my stretching. Then I'll get in the shower, eat some lunch, and get on with the rest of my day. So the additional cardio is not mandatory. It is not officially part of the challenge, but I'm sharing this with you because every year since year 2 or 3 of the challenge, this is how I do this challenge every year. After each one of these workouts, I tack on 20 to 30 minutes or more of additional moderate paced cardio. For me, 9 times out of 10, that's 20 minutes of interval jump rope. Every once in a while, I might decide to go for a jog. It is exceedingly rare, but it happens. When it's nice out and I have time, I'll go for a nice long hike. So any of those are great options, but if you have a bike, you can go for a bike ride. If not, if you have access to an exercise bike or a treadmill, or an elliptical or a Stairmaster or something like that, you can hop on one of those for 20 or 30 minutes, more if you want to. If you have a heavy bag, you can work on your heavy bag. Up and down the steps is another great option. So if you have steps in your home or your apartment complex, or if you took your workout to the beach or the park or the hiking trail today, somewhere out, anywhere where there's steps, you can do up and down the steps. If you have access to the field at your local high school, you could do up and down the bleachers, or you could jog around the track, or some combination of the two. You could do something fun, like go to a fitness class if that's something you enjoy, or you can meet up with a friend in the park and, play some tennis or some basketball or something like that. Any kind of moderate paced cardio you want to do is fine. And again, it's not required. But if you are looking to use this challenge to get yourself in shape, if you are trying to build stamina, and if you're trying to lose weight, then the additional cardio is going to go a long way towards helping to accelerate that process for you. And that means you're going to start seeing results faster. And it's really encouraging when you start seeing your results, and it makes it a lot easier to stick with the challenge for 2 reasons. Number one, as you are improving your stamina and getting yourself in shape faster, the workouts are going to start to become easier. You're going to start to notice that you're getting through them faster, and that is going to help you to stay motivated, because once you know that the workouts are not going to be as difficult as they were maybe the first week of the challenge, it's going to be a lot easier to find the motivation to stick with it and follow through and get your reps done every day. But also, when you can see the results of your hard work, when you see yourself getting stronger and faster, you see your times improving, you see that you're losing weight, you see your clothes are starting to fit differently, that is really encouraging, because you are starting to see that what you're doing is working, and you're seeing that you're getting closer to your goals, and that makes you want to keep going. So that makes it easier to find the motivation to do your reps every day as well, because what you're doing is working, so you want to keep doing it. So you do not have to do the additional cardio after every single workout the way I do. You don't have to do it at all. But it is strongly recommended that you find at least 2 to 3 days a week where you can tack on 20 to 30 minutes or more of moderate paced cardio immediately after the workout. I just know if you can find at least 2 or 3 days a week to do that, you're going to be so much happier with your results on day 40. And I want everyone to be really happy with their results. So once more, the additional cardio is not required. It is not officially part of the challenge, but it is strongly recommended. Also, very strongly recommended is that you are taking the time to stretch every single day. 20 or 30 minutes is ideal. If you take the time to stretch every day, it is going to do a few things for you. Number one, it is going to help to alleviate any muscle soreness that you might be experiencing after the workouts. Number two, it is going to help reduce your risk of injury moving forward. And number three, it is going to improve your flexibility. And all three of those things are especially important if you are doing the challenge with me. And here's why. So number one, taking the time to stretch every day is going to help to alleviate any muscle soreness that you might be experiencing after the workouts. If daily exercise is something new to you, then it's incredibly likely that you are experiencing muscle soreness. So if we do an especially difficult workout on any given day and the next day you're so sore you can't move, it's going to be next to impossible to find the motivation to do your workout that day. But if you had taken 20 or 30 minutes to stretch after your workout the day before, then it would have helped to alleviate some of that muscle soreness. So you would be more likely to say, okay, I'm not feeling great, I'm still feeling sore, I'm not 100%, but I can move. And I really want to stick with the challenge, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to get my reps done today. So it's really important to make sure that you're sticking with the challenge, and helping to alleviate any muscle soreness by stretching after the workouts is going to help you do that. Number two, taking the time to stretch every day is going to help reduce your risk of injury. And that is especially important if you're doing the challenge, because a big part of the reason why we're doing this challenge is to establish a habit of daily exercise, and you do that through consistent effort. That is why we are working out 6 days in a row every single week, Monday through Saturday of every week, because that is how you establish that habit. The goal is to do all 40 days of the challenge so that by day 40 you will have firmly established that habit of daily exercise, and you'll continue after the challenge is through making daily exercise part of your routine. So if you become injured at any point during the challenge, you are going to have to sit out a few days while you allow your body to recover. So what's going to happen is that all that momentum you've been working so hard to build is going to come to a screeching halt, and it's going to make it really difficult to hop back in, and it's going to make it really difficult to establish that habit of daily exercise. So taking the time to stretch every day does not completely eliminate the risk of injuring yourself. It doesn't guarantee anything, but it is a very important way that you can, and a very effective way that you can mitigate that risk. The two most important things and the two most effective things that you should be doing to reduce your risk of injury is, number one, making sure that you understand how to do the exercises correctly, and making sure that you are applying that knowledge during the workout and actually doing each exercise correctly, minding your form during the workouts. And number two, taking the time to stretch every day. So if you take the time to stretch every day, you're training your muscles to be generally more pliable, more flexible, and you're going to increase your range of motion. It's going to make your muscles more resilient, and it's going to make you less susceptible to injury so that you don't have to miss any days of the challenge. It's going to increase the likelihood that you are able to successfully complete all 40 days of this challenge with me. And number three, taking the time to stretch every day obviously is going to improve your flexibility. So that is important if you're doing this challenge, because if you are taking the time to do your 160 reps with me every day to improve your strength, and you are taking 2 to 3 days a week at least to tack on some additional cardio after the workout to improve your stamina, why would you not want to take a little extra time each day to stretch to improve your flexibility while you're at it? It just makes this challenge so much more well-rounded. Flexibility is a really important aspect of your overall fitness level, and I think sometimes it tends to be overlooked and maybe undervalued. So taking the time to stretch every day is really important, especially if you're doing this challenge. Right now, immediately after the workout or immediately after your cardio, if you're adding cardio, is going to be the most efficient and the most effective time to get your stretching done, because your muscles are already nice and warm from the workout. But if you don't have time to do your stretching now, that's fine. It doesn't matter what time of day you do your stretching, just as long as you're getting it done. But remember that if you put off your stretching until later on in the day, your muscles will have gotten cold again, so you will need to take a few minutes to warm them back up before you begin stretching. You never want to jump into your stretching routine with cold muscles because your muscles need to be warm in order for them to be pliable so that you can stretch them safely and effectively. So please make sure you're taking the time to stretch every day, but please make sure that you are doing so safely. But that's it. That is officially a wrap on day 24 of the challenge. So I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did this day 24 workout with me today, thank you so much. Please let me know what you thought of it and how you did. Thank you to everyone who is doing the challenge with me. Whether you've been doing the challenge with me since day one or whether you're starting today, I appreciate you. It makes me so happy every year when people let me know that they are doing the challenge with me. So if you are doing the challenge and you have not yet let me know, please leave me a comment and let me know that you're with me. And even if you're not doing the challenge with me, thank you for doing today's workout with me. Thank you to everyone who has been working out with me lately. And even if you're not doing the workouts, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful and supportive and engaging comments. It truly does mean the world to me. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe. And of course, a great big thank you to those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for years. Please know that I appreciate you all so very much. One final reminder that if anything was unclear about the format of today's workout and how everything fits together, if you have any questions about the exercises that we were doing today, if you have any doubts about how to do the exercises with the correct form, or if you need any further help with equipment-free substitutions beyond what I have already provided, if you need to see beginner modifications, I am always here to help, so please ask questions if you have them. And if you know anyone who might be interested in doing this challenge, please feel free to share this video with them. Please feel free to share the playlist with them or any of the 3 playlists. Again, this year we are in our Mama Bear era. This is our intermediate playlist. But if you know someone who's an absolute beginner, share last year's playlist with them. If you know someone who's in super shape and they're looking for a workout challenge that's really going to push them, you can share the playlist with them from year 5 of the challenge. But the more people I have doing the challenge with me each year, the happier I am. So please feel free to share. That is going to do it for today. I will see you all right back here tomorrow for day 25. Bye.